self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I stand by the shit I said last week, despite that little heifer lion, also known as Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another fantastic episode. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at Red_Calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, and send it to us that way. I think we have one from Colin.
We does. He sent this 6 days ago.
Okay.
Episode 204. Hand down, meat down.
I really hate y'all.
You should.
I do.
What's good, y'all? Live listen time. I didn't write in last week because I'm not going to write in on my own topics. The title, You're Welcome, Red, might be too much information, but it's true. After suffering an injury this weekend, my meat is currently on the injury report list as day-to-day bruise. Next time will be a coach's decision whether to get in the game. Laugh out loud. So here we go. In response to your first letter about no man should expect someone to move home without paying, he should pay $0 a month. $1,000 a month, ? To a girlfriend, ? For what, ? Maybe I'm remembering that story wrong. I don't know. For property taxes, it's assessed either quarterly, biannually, or annually by your local revenue department. For most mortgages, taxes are charged against your escrow account. Your monthly mortgage is essentially an estimate based on the assessed tax value, and then your loan servicer / mortgage company pays your property taxes from escrow for you.
That sounds very complicated.
It does. But I think what that is indicating is that it's not like a monthly fee that you pay
for taxes. No, I told you
for
my
property
mom,
taxes.
My mom pays one. I think she pays it yearly.
Yeah.
I want to say.
So, I guess the question is that $1,000 going to her paying that later in the year, or could that be something that you split when the time comes for property taxes? I don't know. I guess it need to be a situation by situation. Mm-hmm. Number 2, social media and relationships. Yo, so tell me why my first serious girlfriend broke up with me over AOL Instant Messenger, aka AIM, back when I was in college in 2005. Laugh my ass off.
What the fuck was you doing on AIM?
What you mean?
What was he doing on AIM that made her break up? Or did she break up with him over that?
It sounded like she broke up with him over that shit. It was devastating at the time. I lost a bunch of weight, and then once I got over the hurt that my first had left me, my journey of making power move with power meat began. More later, maybe. Cheers, Colin.
Oh, I remember AIM. We so old.
We are old.
Jesus Christ. There's so many things. What was that other one? ICQ?
I don't remember. I never used that one. That one had the flower logo.
Yeah,
right? I never used that one. I used Yahoo Messenger.
Yahoo Messenger.
Yahoo used to have them chat rooms. Y'all remember ASL?
Yep. ASX location,
please.
Yep.
And it'll be 20 F Orlando.
Yep.
You ain't no damn F. You a M. You a man.
It's so funny how far from that we've come. Breaking up with people over social media is the cowardly way out. And breaking up with people because of social media is stupid. Like I said before, that should not be the measuring stick for your relationship. If you can't be with somebody because they get too many likes on their pictures, you got some other issues. Because I don't even be on shit enough to even be seeing how many likes people get. The only time I get on Facebook, and I'm going to be completely and 100% honest right now, the only time I get on Facebook is when one of my family members send me a picture because they want to roast something that another family member is doing.
Damn shame.
So then I'll get on Facebook to see what the fuck they talking about so that I can join in the roasting. That's about it. That is about the depth of my Facebook usage these days. Is if somebody getting roasted and my family's like, go look at this on Facebook, and then I will. But outside of that, I don't be on this shit. That happened to me yesterday, actually. I got a picture from Facebook.
Sad.
It's not sad to me. We don't roast the people to their face. Is that better or worse? I don't know.
Worse.
It's worse?
Yeah. You ain't nothing but some backstabbers like the OJs. What they do? They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. Backstabbers.
Yeah. Well, listen. We do say something depending on who it is. The person that we was roasting, he would not take too kindly to this. My family roast me to my fucking face. If I brought somebody crazy home, they would be nice to that person, but please believe that I would get drawn off to the side and be like, what in the fuck are you doing with your life? Why you with this nigga? Like, I would 100%. But they know I can take that. I can receive it. Because I'm going to do what I'm going to do anyway, so whether they like it or not. But some people in my family are not those folks. And so the picture that I got was somebody who wouldn't take too kindly. But what was said is true as fuck. You said it today when I showed you the picture. So
I did say it.
It is what it is.
Me into that.
I showed you a picture. I did not know what your response was going to be. If you had any response at all.
You know who I am. You dropped a bag of money in front of a known criminal and left the room. You think he gonna still be in that chair when you get back? Hell no. That's what you did. You dropped clearly what would be ammo in front of me and walked away, and you knew what was gonna happen.
I mean, we might have been wrong in our assessment of this person.
Whatever.
But you know, either way, either or. Thank you, Colin, for the letter. Did I have anything? I randomly found out that I had been working with a pedophile.
Okay, that's fun.
It was a new experience because I've never had that happen before. This was not a client of mine, so I'm not breaking any rules, but you know, it made me really think about the fact that you don't know people. And you know, I watch ID channel, so I already am suspicious by nature anyway. But this one slipped under the radar. I wasn't even suspicious of old dude at all. So when I found this information out, I was like, what the fuck?
Why weren't you suspicious?
I know they don't have a look, but I really wasn't getting pedo vibes from him. I wasn't.
That's because you too old. If you was 14, then your goddamn ass will be getting all the vibes.
You're right. I'm way too old for him. I'm a whole 2 decades older than what he looking for. But that was a different experience just because I had to decide how I was going to interact with that person moving forward. Because I was disgusted. Utterly disgusted when he don't even need to be in here. Disgusted. And again, it just reminded me that you don't know, like, serial killers don't have a look necessarily. Pedophiles don't have a look. You know, domestic violence perpetrators don't have a look. Sometimes you can look at somebody and be like, that nigga kill you. But a lot of times it's them charismatic, like really nice, like we can't believe he would do that. Dumb type of people. So, you know, you kind of have to just be careful about, you know, putting people into boxes because you never know. You just never know. Because I was very shocked. I was like, no.
He's reformed.
No. This was recent.
Yeah, I know
How is he reformed?
I had a friend that used to come over to my house and he used to be like, what's up, Eddie? You want to play some bones? I was like, yeah, let's shoot some. Dominoes.
I know.
You didn't know. Okay, you know dominoes. And he'd be like, I need to do something because I just quit smoking. And I was like, when? He said, today. I'd be like, shut up. You're going to be smoking tonight again. So maybe he's reformed today. after his last, you know.
No, it don't. But look, pedophilia is one of them things that when you do it, like people gonna look at you differently. Like it's like when you smoke crack, you gonna be known as somebody that smoked crack by the people that know you forever. You could be clean for 20 years, and anytime somebody get upset with you, the first thing, you know he was a crackhead. Like this, it's one of those things that follow you. Okay, I don't think there's an expiration date.
It's probably like when you stop eating salt for your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop eating salt. Because, man, I be looking at that salt container like, damn, I would use you, but you ain't good for me right now. That's a problem. And every now and then I have me a little dish that got like enough salt in it already. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, okay, I got a taste of the salt. But you know what? I'm going to go for a little sprinkle every now and then. That's probably how he is. That's probably how pedophilia is.
You can't go for a little sprinkle.
I know. I mean, clearly sprinkle is rape in this situation. I'm just talking about the dilemma of not being able to consume something that you desire. What?
You just, again, I look at him in a completely different light, and I'm just utterly disgusted by him now because just come on, dude. And what was hilarious is that he felt like we were going to be okay with it because we had gotten to know him, and he was like, I figured if y'all got to know me and saw what a nice guy I was, the charges wouldn't matter. That's some white shit. Okay, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. That is not how it works. Nowhere else in your life can you commit a crime. They still don't want to let motherfuckers vote, depending on the charges that they done had. That shit carries with you. You can be a nice guy.
That ain't about the charges, though. That ain't about what they did. That's just about finding a way to keep certain people from being able to participate in the program.
But I'm just saying, like, at no point does you being a nice person overcompensate for some bullshit like this. Like and now I don't think you're that nice of a person, to be honest with you.
Well, we already know how you feel.
I'm looking at you different.
If y'all want to go back to the Pedophile Island episode,
he needs to be on Pedophile Island.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Why? He don't need to live amongst the rest of us.
But he is.
But that's what I'm saying. We need Pedophile
Well, we can't
Island.
do nothing about him. He here now.
I know, but we need a Pedophile Island.
We don't need a pedophile.
I feel
we
like
ain't got that much space. We divert no resources to an island.
Who said divert resources? I'm thinking like Lost Boys. Like they just figured that shit out. Better figure out how to live off the land. Shit.
You sound like you'll be all right with just throwing a grenade up under the bridge where the homeless people live at. Like, I feel like if you was in charge of figuring that shit out, you'll be like, flashbang. Hope you like your clothes being in flames, bitch.
Not homeless people, but pedophiles, yes. I don't care. I don't feel like, live off the land.
I'm saying, if you got a job with the city and your job was to figure out what to do with homeless people and you had to fix the problem and your job is dependent upon it, I think you would think about some old crazy ass shit like that. You might not do it. You'll come up with a better solution.
I would.
But when you talk to me,
yes,
you'll be like, we need to just fucking mow them motherfuckers down with some AK-47s in that bitch. No Russian Call of Duty, goddamn. That's what we need to do.
I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. I know.
But yeah, so that was just a different, because I've worked with people and found out stuff about them later that I'm like, oh, okay, wouldn't have thought that, but all right. But it never anything to this extent. So that was just a new experience. And then I had to kind of decide within myself what this meant for my interactions with him, because to be honest with you, I'm done. Fucking done. Done. It's gross. You're weird. No. Can't do it. Can't do it. Oh my God. It's terrible. people that mess with kids and old people are some of the worst people. You mess with the most vulnerable population possible. Like that's some bitch nigga shit. You a bitch ass hoe for that. You a hoe ass bitch for that. You are all of the above. Like you gotta mess with folks who prefrontal ain't all the way there yet. You gotta mess with people who got fucking Alzheimer's and shit. Like you are a fucked up person. That's the victimology that you choose. All right. Fuck him. And all those like him.
It's a goddamn shame.
And it is. Did you have anything happen this week?
Nope.
Well, all right. Well, that's the end of the letter.
Nothing that HIPAA allowed me to talk about. I only work with clients, so all the good shit is protected.
Well,
real
all
good
right.
shit too sometimes. I can talk about a story.
Okay. Are we moving into the story part?
Nah, it's relationship, so we'll do it. Let's do it for this part.
Okay.
A groom sexually assaults a bridesmaid before the wedding.
What?
A Pennsylvania groom sexually assaulted a bridesmaid 2 days before his wedding.
My nigga, it's easier ways to let a bitch know you don't want to get married.
She blacked out and woke up to him sexually assaulting her in the men's locker room at a hotel where they were staying at. The assault stopped when the bride came in. She started fighting with him.
Please tell me that these Negroes did not get married.
Despite the incident,
God damn it!
Carney and his wife still got married.
Motherfuck. Why? Why? Other than the fact that you didn't pay all of this money, other than the fact that your families and shit is already here, other than that, why?
Because she probably knew what she had already.
He's a fucking rapist. You are marrying a rapist. Not just somebody who cheated on you. Okay, that'd be fucked up enough on its own. But he raped somebody 2 days before he said I do to your black ass. Like, how do you reconcile that within yourself? Like, what? No. You raped my bridesmaid. We can't get married. You're a rapist. And I just knew that you were going to say them motherfuckers got married anyway.
So what would you do?
If I was her?
If you were the wife?
Be in
Or
jail.
to be?
I would be in jail because when I walked in on him raping my bridesmaid, I might have did what old girl from last week got some pruning shears, chop, nigga. We definitely wouldn't have got fucking married.
You can't do that.
Why?
Because you got to hit him with something in the immediate environment.
Well, maybe.
Because if you go get a tool, that turns into
They were in the men's
premeditated.
locker room. Damn, wouldn't have been no shears in there. I would have found something and fucked his balls up. That's what would have happened. And we damn sure wouldn't have got married. I would have helped her press charges on this bitch ass. The fuck kind of shit is that, nigga? What are you doing?
But you loved him.
Loved as in past tense with a ED. Rape kind of it surpasses that. I told y'all before, I ain't no ride or die. That shit right there, that's it. We're done. And you going to jail with swollen balls because I'm going to stomp all over them hoes.
Well, he ain't going to jail.
Why he ain't going to jail?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if the woman pressed charges or not.
But I'm saying if it had been me, she would have pressed charges. Because she probably talked her homegirl into not press. She went ahead and married him. Then even if the girl wanted to press charges, her bitch ass probably was like, girl, don't do that. What the fuck? I'm so angry right now.
I can tell.
I'm
I just
trying.
wanted to get a rise out of you with that story. It worked.
I'm trying
I
not
know
to
how to get you.
go overboard, but I'm more mad at her. The bitch that married him. Why in the fuck would you go? Let me listen. Listen, people. I get that you want to be married, okay? I am 34 years old and I ain't nowhere near marrying somebody's son, okay? I get it. I do. But the fact that I waited this goddamn long, if you think that I would marry a known rapist just to say that I was married to somebody, that shit is stupid as fuck. I could have married a fuckboy years ago. Like, if that's what I was gonna do with my life, I ain't gonna wait this late in life to do that shit. I feel like if you wait this long, you should make better decisions. That was not a good decision on her part. And that just make him feel like what he did was all right. That is, oh, I'm so disgusted. At both him and her. Oh my God. And I get it. I get, whatever. Your bachelor party, bachelorette parties, crazy shit happen. Rape should never be one of those things. Now, if she had been conscious and y'all was just getting it in, we still wouldn't have gotten married because you a hoe ass nigga and she a hoe ass bitch. But it wouldn't have been rape. Still wouldn't have got married, right? But it wouldn't have been rape. I don't. How do you go within yourself and convince yourself to do this shit anyway? Like, what conversation did she have internally that made her come to the conclusion that I'm going to still marry this tired ass nigga? It's whack. He's whack. She's whack. The whole situation is whack. And they are going to get a fucking divorce. Because that's not a good way to begin your marriage. Rape is never a good way to start a relationship. Let me say that. It ain't a good way to start a commitment. Oh, Jesus. She married him? Oh, that's...
It reminds me of I write sins, not tragedies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Panic at the Disco.
For those of you who don't know, a group called Panic at the Disco wrote a song called I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. And it's about talking about it talks about how the groom's bride is a whore. But I guess the bride's groom is a whore. I chimed in,
what haven't you people ever heard of? Closing the goddamn door. No.
I really like Panic at the Disco.
I do too.
But I just wanted to get a rise out of you.
What if that was your homeboy? What if you his best man? You the best man to the groom who did this shit. What's your response?
I wouldn't be in nobody's wedding that was capable of this.
You don't know. You never know, people.
I mean, I think you know your partner is capable of rape before you do this. Like, I'm not going to participate in somebody's wedding that I don't think going to make it. Nah, this nigga's not going to make it for no whole forever.
Forever.
So I can't be your best man. I can't be in your bridal party. I ain't even coming to the wedding. Because I want my money back if y'all get a divorce.
I could not even be another bridesmaid. Like, not even talking about being the bride and the bridesmaid that got raped. If I was a different bridesmaid in this wedding party and I found out this shit going on and this bitch come talking about we still doing the wedding, bitch, fuck you. And I want my money back for this goddamn dress that I'm not wearing because I ain't going to your fuck ass wedding. And I want my money back if I had to travel my black ass here for this whack shit. I ain't walking down no fucking aisle. Y'all want to continue on with this travesty of a marriage? You do that. I ain't gonna be a part of it. Fuck you and him.
I won't be a part of that kind of ceremony. And if it turns out that somebody did get raped when I was a part of something, I don't know. I live my life. I live my life on the principle that I'm not trying to create new trauma for myself today. So when people get ready to do shit around me, I be like, nope. I don't want I don't want to remember this day for nothing. So please stop. I don't remember no days in my life. I want to keep that streak. Some bad shit done happen, but not bad enough to brand the date in my head and be like, God damn. Like it was the 1st of September. That day I'll always remember.
Because that was the day that my daddy died. Listen.
I'd rather remember the other day. Do you remember? The 21st of September. That's what I'd rather remember. Fuck the first. I don't want no days like that though.
I would like to think that the people that I'm friends with, the women that I'm friends with, this would not be an issue. Like, I'm not gonna say that they wouldn't marry a nigga that wouldn't rape nobody before the wedding, but I would like to think that they wouldn't go on with the wedding. But in case that I am wrong, any of my female friends that are listening, bitch, I'm not gonna be in your wedding, okay? So you might as well get upset, because your number's going to be uneven. Might as well go to one of his groomsmen and say, we don't need you because Red fell out. You fucking right. I'm not going to be a part of it. You dumb. And don't think that I am not going to read and get you all the way together about what I think about you continuing on with this bullshit. And yes, you probably going to continue on with it regardless of what it is that I say. But I'm going to know that I fucking said it. And when the shit fall apart, as inevitably it will, I'm not even gonna tell you I told you so, because when you as right as I'm gonna fucking be, you don't even have to say shit. You just stand in your rightness.
She gonna say, okay, whatever, bitch.
Yeah, that's fine.
You and your Aussie can get that shit out of here.
Yes, luxurious, ain't it, bitch? You're mad. Blowing in the wind. Flip my hair on you hoes.
Get you and your Aussie can get out of here, bitch. Nobody want to hear that shit.
You're right. And when
me and my man gonna live a perfectly fine life.
Sure
we don't need your motherfucking ass at this wedding.
Yep.
No way.
And 7 months from now, when you call me trying to fucking with a shoulder to lean on, I'm gonna shoulder lean the shit out of you. Fuck out of here. Whew, that just got my pressure up. That's terrible.
Blood pressure. I got a machine for that. You need to check your blood pressure.
I'm good.
You sure?
I think I'm gonna make it.
All right. You sure your blood pressure ain't too low?
That has been an issue for me. Low blood pressure, not high blood pressure. Okay. But that was when I was skinny. I don't think it's a problem now.
You might need some salt.
I just ate a salted pretzel.
Just one?
It was one of the big ones from Sam's Club.
Oh, okay.
The soft baked ones. Yeah. Anyhow, if you have a question you'd like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, and send it to us that way. I don't even know what I have to talk about. Diane Carroll passed away, man. She was so classy. She was one of the most classy black women. Like, she one of those women that when I saw her pictures, that's who I want to be. Like, you want to be that level of classy. Like, she had that face where you know ain't nobody even gonna try her, because she don't even got a resting bitch face. She just got a don't fuck with me face. Oh, Diane Carroll. I was very sad about that. Look, I've said this before. Every time some of these great actors, actresses, they pass away, I'm like, who do we have that's taking their place? Who picking up the mantle behind them? No fucking body. There is nobody that I can think of right now that embodies Diane Carroll or anywhere even fucking close. So, y'all, and please don't nobody start talking about no Halle Berry and shit, because no. No, not the same. Like, it's like we lose these greats and then we don't have shit to come up behind them. But Diane Carroll, like, she's who I hope I'm that classy and that elegant and that easily get people together the way that she did. But rest in heaven. So
I don't know nothing about Diane Carroll, but let's talk about Amber Geiger in this trial. Okay, we got a lot to talk about it. Several things have transpired.
I might need your blood pressure machine.
You might need it. So Amber Geiger was sentenced to 10 years.
10 fucking years. Which, keep in mind that when people get sentences like that, she's not going to do 10 years. Okay? Right? Amber might do a good 4, maybe 5. She is not going to be in jail for 10 fucking years. Okay, so that's one of the things to keep in mind, and why people so mad about this fucking punishment is because we know that first of all, 10 years is too low anyway. But she ain't even gonna do the 10 years. She gonna do 4, 5 max.
So she got her 10 years. Niggas was mad. I mean, it's the police. But I do want to bring up, if you remember Muhammad Noor, who killed Justine Diamond, the Australian lady. He was a police officer. He got 12 and a half years. So that's close to what Amber Geiger got. But, oh my God, his shooting was a good shoot, I think police would call it, if he was white versus black. Because what happened with her case was she ran outside and was beating on the back of the police car aggressively, I guess to get their attention, and he got out and shot. Mm-hmm. You know, so I just feel like if that was a white officer and a black person, they would have been like, well, he caused alarm, and you know, the police officers are trained to shoot in situations like that. But he got convicted, 12 and a half years. But like, she legitimately went into a man's apartment, shot him while he was sitting on the couch
in his own shit, minding his goddamn business,
eating ice cream. And she had to overlook a red carpet that was right there to do so. I think we know all of that.
Yes, we do.
What happened after that is both them, John, I'm going to say that's how his name is pronounced, I'm just going to do it that way, his brother talked about forgiveness, and then he wanted to hug Amber Geiger. And he hugged her and told her that he forgave her for shooting his brother, and that put the interwebs and the black community in an uproar as it pertains to forgiveness.
First of all, on point. Shogun, Cole Jackson, Leroy Ketchum, Rockman 3K3. Okay, I want y'all all to listen very carefully to me. If somebody kills me and it is a wrongful death, I don't want y'all to be talking about no goddamn forgiveness, okay? I don't want you to do that. Don't do that shit. Do not do that. Now, on point, I know you're going to be apathetic because you apathetic about most things. I'll accept that. Mm-hmm. But all of this kumbaya, we forgive you shit, I want y'all to be livid. Be mad, okay? Don't go to jail, but don't be kumbayaing and shit. Here's my problem with this, and I get it. As a therapist, you know, I encourage people to forgive because the forgiveness is for you. It is not for the other person. It is so that you can move on with your life. 100% believe in forgiveness. However, it just infuriates me that when you see situations like this, it's us. Okay, because had this shit been flip-flopped and reversed, do you think that her white parents would have embraced him and said, we forgive you for killing our daughter? It's all right. I'd like to be friends. No, it would not fucking happen. I just get mad because we always feel like we always gotta be the bigger. I don't even know if we feel like we gotta be the big person. I don't know if we feel like we leading by example and hoping that if we show them compassion, they'll show us compassion. I don't really know what the fuck it is, but let me tell you something. If somebody killed one of my brothers, fuck that bitch. Like, I don't give a shit. First of all, I'm gonna be mad as fuck that you only got the 10 years, and please don't think you gonna put I don't even like getting hugs from people I like, okay? So you keep your little murderous ass hands off of me. I ain't hugging shit. That makes no sense to me. I was furious because I feel like we're always the ones doing that. It would never be it would never be that way on the flip side. It would never have been her white parents embracing this little black boy who killed their daughter. Wouldn't happen. And I just get so sick of that. Like, We can be upset. I feel like you have the right to be upset. Now, I ain't gonna say he should have showed his ass and flipped tables and shit over in the courtroom. I wouldn't have blamed him if he had have. But this whole kumbaya shit that everybody was trying to do. Look, I'ma hunt all of y'all. I swear to God. If haunting and ghosts is a thing, y'all gonna get hunted. If you go trying to hug the motherfucker that killed me wrongfully, don't hug that bitch. Okay? Don't do it. I'm letting my request be known now. And even if you have to tell, well, why are you guys, so well, Red made it very clear before if this were ever to happen. What her wishes were.
I've communicated on the podcast before that I think if I was killed or my brother was killed, my mama would be going to pray with the person at some point. Because that's the kind of person my mama is. Mm-hmm. She don't have a vengeful or angry bone in her body.
My mother is very religious. But if somebody killed one of us, Peggy would show her whole fucking ass.
Your mama is a hat-wearing church lady without wearing a hat. You know how them ladies is. The meanest motherfuckers on the planet. They mean.
Yeah, my mama be trying to whoop some ass in the courtroom.
Just because your mama a Christian don't mean she ain't from the hood, goddamn. Okay? So you and your mama as examples for things is not good. Okay? Just to let you know. If you ain't know, you know now. But you got to understand, I was raised by that lady.
But you are not her, though.
I know I'm not her. Because she got fucked over so much from being so nice and so kind. Me and my brother are nice and kind, but we know the threshold upon which we would be fucked over. And we got a system where we can avoid that. But, that don't change that I understand why he might have done what he done. I guess my issue is that he could have done that shit behind closed doors if it was for him. Like, I don't know why he would make a spectacle of it.
Well, same reason why the fucking judge made a spectacle.
Well, I'm going to continue the story. But I think my first reaction is that, everybody's focused on murder level forgiveness and not realizing that y'all got some uncles, aunts, mamas, daddies, cousins, brothers, and sisters to forgive for low level shit. So what I hope is that this conversation is putting a lot of our petty shit in perspective. I don't know why this man forgave this woman, but man, it's a lot of shit out here that you ain't talking to a person no more because of. And I hope this shit kind of put that in perspective for you, to be honest. Moving to the judge gave Amber Geiger a Bible, her personal Bible, and told her to read this when you in there. And a formal complaint was filed against her by this atheist group because, separation of church and state, man, you can't have no overt display of Christian values as a judge.
And as a judge, you don't need to take such a black and white stand in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, this lady was tried and convicted of murdering an unarmed man. And just...
And she have no idea what it feel like to feel like a criminal. She was criminally convicted of what she did, and she has no idea how it feels to be treated like a criminal at this point. And she probably gonna get preferential treatment by the police officers at wherever she's at.
And she gonna have to. I don't know what they do with police officers when they get locked up. You can't put them motherfuckers in general pop. That will not end well at all. So who even knows where the fuck she gonna end up at? And again, she's not gonna do 10 years. She's not gonna do anywhere close to them 10 years. She'll be on probation for a while, or parole, but she's not going to do 10 years. And it's just like, what is the value of a life? For everybody, all these people who saying, well, she was scared. She acted because she thought it was a burglar in her home. She is a police officer who is trained for those type of situations. I've gone to the wrong door before. Now I don't own guns, so I don't have guns on me, very obviously. In college, a lot. If we were out drinking, might knock on the wrong door. I don't think I've done that in an apartment complex because it's kind of, you would have to be wasted out of your mind. I done been tired, okay? But I still know what door is mine. I don't know how the fuck you go to the wrong door. And all it is that you just got off work. You ain't high. You ain't drunk. You didn't notice the doormat. You didn't notice the setup in the apartment was different when you opened the goddamn door. Like, none of that didn't register. And I mean, look, and this is what I've had to do for myself. Unfortunately, in the climate that we have and in the country that we had, I have to just be glad she got convicted. Okay? Because it wasn't no guarantee that they were even going to convict this hoe. All right? She could have walked. I was not happy with the 10-year sentence at all, but I would have been less happy if she, like a lot of these other police officers who done fuck shit and killed people and get acquitted. I'd have been more upset about that. So unfortunately, we just gonna have to take the 10 years. And, if his brother wants to be forgiving of her and all of that, okay. Fuck that hoe is how I feel.
We ain't done with the story. Do you know what else is on the story?
I do not.
There was a witness to this.
Oh, yeah.
Named Joshua Brown.
Oh, yeah, he died.
And died. No, this nigga was ambushed and murdered in his apartment complex parking lot. So this guy was walking down the hallway when this was happening. He's the one that testified that he or any other neighbors didn't hear any commands such as put your hands up or whatever she was saying that she said. He testified that. And
now he dead.
And he's dead now. He's shot in the face and in the chest. Now it's being reported that he was supposed to be testifying against the Dallas Police Department in a civil suit. So it's really, really hard to see this as not connected. What the family is saying is that
his family or Botham's family?
Brown's family.
Okay.
Because in November there was a shooting at a club that they say targeted him. And so it's the reason that he moved out of that apartment complex. So he been trying to keep a low profile until the heat from that shooting passed over. It was like from some childhood stuff. And so I guess it's possible that being on that trial kind of exposed him and let people know where he was going to be at and follow him or something and find out where he lived.
Very coincidental.
But it's too big of a coincidence. It's too big of a coincidence, man. So that's about what we got on this situation. Like, nothing positive. Just a police officer that shot a black man that was chilling in his own spot, who got shot by a cop that didn't get enough time for doing it, who has people connected to this case who has died as well, maybe because of the case, maybe not, which has brought up a conversation about forgiveness, which has really invoked a dialogue about how black people always are and are always expected to be the forgivers in a lot of these situations. And we don't get the same courtesy of that forgiveness extended to us.
We do not. Ever.
And it's unfortunate. But that's that situation. What you got?
Stacey Dash was arrested.
Stacey Ass.
For domestic violence with her white husband. And her...
It's a porn star named Stacey Lane.
Why is that relevant?
I don't know. Cole Jackson know who I'm talking about.
So
he's the only person who is open enough to let me know that his porn knowledge rivals mine.
You niggas. When she was arrested, her arrest record showed her race as white, but an officer has come out and said that was his mistake, and that that's not what she told them or what she put down. I don't believe it.
Why would anybody have to tell you? I mean, it's some people who are white passing that would have to tell you.
She's not white passing.
Of course not. She look black. She look black.
Even though she don't want to be black. The husband has now come out and said that, you know, he never wanted her to be arrested. You don't fucking listen, let me tell you how DV situations go, okay? If the police get called and they get there and somebody got marks on them, the other motherfucker's gonna get arrested, okay? Little white man was all red with scratches and shit all over him, so they took Stacey ass on. They don't listen to the person, the victim, because of course the victim is gonna say, don't take him, don't take her. They don't listen to that no more. So if you got marks on you, the police are going to take the other person, regardless, period. In the story. You don't have no say. Because they, of course, when you are a battered person, you ain't going to be like, lock his ass up. You're going to be like, no, take him on. No, don't. He didn't do anything.
On the phone call, she was saying, he's a lawyer, and he's telling his kids what to say to get me arrested. And I'm like, damn, if that's what's going on, that's real fucked up.
I don't feel sorry for that bitch. Even if that is what happened, fuck her. That's what you get.
You are cold fucking blooded like Rick James. You need to have you a ring that say unity on it. Unity. That's what you need. You need a goddamn unity ring. And you need to go punch niggas in the forehead in the club.
I don't give a fuck about it. Listen, Stacey has showed her ass to the black community for a very long time. So when things happen to her, I'm not going to revel in it, but I also don't give a fuck about her. And I don't really give a fuck if it works out for her or if it don't. Fuck her. That's what you get. You and your little white man go on. I just don't really give a shit about her. It don't really fucking matter to me. Fuck her.
But then you like Clueless?
I did, before I knew who she was as a human. See, this is why we don't need to know about actors and actresses' personal lives. Just act on the screen. I don't need to know that you was an asshole in real life. Stacey, I was fine with Stacey during the Clueless days, okay? But then found out, you know, she's a bitch. So, I don't care.
So the police officer was like, so what do you do? She said, I'm an actress. And he was like, you acting in anything now? She was like, no. And he was like, you from anything that I might know? And she clearly fucking not happy with what's going on or the line of questioning. And she's like, I played in Clueless. And he know what the fuck Clueless was.
Because he's a guy.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe because he young. I mean, he probably just... Clueless ain't one of them movies that you supposed to fucking know about. Like, it's some movies like The Breakfast Club and Sleepless in Seattle and shit like that where you done heard of this shit, even if it's in references somehow. Yeah. But like when you talk about Clueless, Clueless is up there, I guess.
It's a pretty iconic movie.
It is, but I don't know what the fuck the big deal with that movie.
I don't even know anything else off top that she's been in. Like movie-wise, I know she was on some little UPN show. And I used to, Single Ladies. She was on that show. She been in some music videos.
She would have been better off saying that she was a Fox commentator. That's what she would have been better off saying. I'm a Fox News commentator, even though it's a lie now because she got fired. But
fired that ass when they ain't need her no more, dummy. Listen.
That was mean. You said that shit like a bully. You said that shit like a bully. How wrong, dummy? You know how bullies be. You got to answer wrong, dummy. You said that shit just like that. It rolled off the tongue so good. You fucked up over there.
Fuck her. Listen, Stacey.
You just hate everybody.
I don't hate everybody.
You hate every damn body.
On this episode.
Yeah, so far you ain't done nothing but hate everybody.
Is there anybody coming up that I'm like? I love Diane Carroll. I had nice things to say about Diane Carroll.
For a whole 2 minutes.
Stacey Dash can go kiss all the asses at Fox.
In hell.
In hell too. When they fired her, I had a good hearty chuckle from a nice deep place because your ass was sitting up there thinking they actually gave a fuck about you when you were a token. You were a token. You were saying the racist shit that they would like to say, but that they would be called racist for. And because you got some color in your skin, they loved hearing you say that bullshit. But then once they boy got elected, they didn't need your black ass and you was fired because you were worthless. Fuck her. I don't care. Fuck Stacey Dash.
God damn. It's a new day. God damn. But that nigga want his money. Ooh. Damn. You cold-blooded.
Fuck that bitch.
Cold-blooded.
Look, I like you when I like you. When I don't like you, fuck you.
Apparently you don't give a fuck.
No? Not even a little bit.
Don't give zero.
I would kick her in the vagina if I had a chance.
Remind me of that Dave Chappelle joke. You seen Dave Chappelle stand-ups?
I have. I hadn't seen the most recent
It ain't
one.
on the two recent ones.
Oh.
Or the recent. It was on them other two that came out. But the first two that came out, he said, "I'm so good at this shit. I got a fishbowl in my house that I write the punchline, the jokes, and I put them in the fishbowl. And every now and then I just pull one out and I make a joke based off what that punchline is." And he said, "I'm gonna do this shit today." And he was like, one day I wrote on the one of them, so I kicked her in the pussy. And then he threw it in the jar, and one day he pulled it out, and then for a moment you kind of forget that had anything to do with anything because he made that part of the joke sound like its own joke. But then he told a whole joke, and at the end of it, that was the punchline. And they was like, how the fuck did he do that shit? Like, he did that shit. I mean, clearly he wrote that joke, so we don't know if he actually do that at home and this is how he do it versus he just wrote a joke about him doing that and then he performed it in the way that he wrote it. We don't know that, but he made you forget that this shit was coming. And it came, not even that far from it, but that's how good he was with telling the story. It didn't have shit to do with shit. That nigga smart, man. Dave Chappelle is a smart man, generally, but he apply that shit to his comedy very well.
I still kick her in the vagina.
Why won't you say pussy?
I don't like to say that word.
Huh?
I don't even remember the last time I said that word.
I don't even say it like that, but I was just saying it because I said it in Dave Chappelle's way of joking. You can't tell a joke and leave out the curse the way they said it. You know, like on The Office, when they had an episode where they had a sensitivity training and they were trying to redo Chris Rock stand up about black people versus niggas, and I don't know what the chubby white dude name is.
Not Dwight.
Nah, that's the tall
Kevin?
dude with the glasses.
Kevin.
That's the white dude, the big white dude. He was basically saying, well, Chris Rock said he doesn't like this. He liked this one type of black people, but he doesn't like this other type of black people. And then Steve Carell got out there and said, that ain't how the joke go. That ain't how it go. And then he started doing it like black people and niggas. And he was like, oh shit. they showed this on air. You know,
The Office is the shit. I love the. I didn't like it when Steve Carell left, but
yeah,
up until that point, it's fucking hilarious.
All right, let's get into PC culture a little bit.
Oh God.
Were you aware that hold on, let me get the details of this story right. The ADL, you know what that is?
No.
The Anti-Defamation League.
Okay.
That's basically the group that determines when a group is racist or when a symbol is racist. They're the group that does the research that determines how widespread the knowledge of this thing is amongst those racist groups and how much it's used.
Okay.
So a family went to Disney World and they had a Despicable Me ride.
Okay.
And Gru and a couple of the minions were out there. Gru is the man who fuck with them.
Yeah.
And he put his arm around the kid to take a picture, but he did this right here, which if you can't see my hand, I'm doing the OK sign. The OK sign has now been designated where you put your thumb and your pointer finger together and you got your other three fingers sitting out. It has been designated as a white power racist
Newly
symbol.
designated. I think that's important.
I don't think that's important. I think.
Where are you going with the story? For that?
Well, he was fired. He was fired for that. Now, this is the thing. While it's newly designated as a hate symbol, it's been in the works for some time. Like, it's been.
But I say that newly designated as if I go to work tomorrow and start talking about, I guarantee you nobody that I work with is going to already know that the OK symbol is now a hate symbol. Like, I mean that as in regular people, he might have just had his fucking hand like that.
Don't nobody do that shit.
No, nobody do this.
The only people that do that shit.
Mike, when he had his hand around the kid.
The only people who do that shit is people who trying to get your ass with the circle game. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
It's the circle game. You never heard of the circle game?
No.
It's basically people be doing a whole bunch of shit to get you to look at this symbol.
I mean,
listen, put the circle game into Google, anybody, and go look at the pictures. And it's like people be trying to do weird stuff to get you to see that hand. And it's like, if you see it, then they got you.
He got fired for that. Like, again, I guarantee, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to work tomorrow and ask my coworkers how many of them know that the OK symbol is now a white power symbol.
No, what you should do is you should go to them and put the OK symbol up and say, does this mean anything to you?
And they're going to be like, no. Okay. Okay, what? They're not going to know. Like, he got fired.
Yeah, he got fired.
I just don't agree with that.
Yes.
Damn.
Listen, man.
Look, I'm all for people doing racist shit getting fired, all right? I am. But, like, this nigga had his arm around a kid, took a picture, his hand happened to be this way. He get fired for this shit. He probably didn't even know it's a hate. That's what I'm saying. The reason I was saying it's newly formed is that it's a lot of people who are not white supremacists that don't even know this shit is being used that way yet. It's niggas running around out here all over the place that have no idea that OK is now a hate symbol.
You want to know something else that they added to the hate index?
What?
The bowl cut hairdo that Dylan Roof had.
Well, I mean, it's only certain white people that get them kind of haircuts anyway, so.
Yeah, motherfucking water boys, except without the football. You know what I'm saying? With the water boy, Adam Sandler.
You said except without the football? What you mean?
Because they just regular racists. They don't got no redeeming qualities that make them valuable somewhere. They just got racism and guns.
But that's what that haircut, I mean, listen, it is certain things that I will see when I'm out. And I think I've talked about this before that will make me not go over to where white boys are. White boys who drive them big pickup trucks with the big ass tires. Okay. I'm not going over there.
Okay.
If you got a Confederate flag hanging from your truck, or you got on the shirt, or it's on your tag, or what, I'm not coming over there.
Okay.
Because I feel like those are just signs that I don't need to have my black ass over there. There are certain things. So bowl cuts, I can get bowl cuts. I don't, yeah. But the OK symbol, and again, he probably didn't even know until they fired him. He learned that day that it was a hate symbol.
We used to use that in school to mean zero noise level.
The OK.
If we had to walk down the hall with them fingers up in the zero noise level, who knew at this point in our history that shit now means white power? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if a picture was taken of the kids walking down to school with that today? They gonna bring up that picture and be like, this is a white power school. Look at them. All of them got them symbols up. And that's why I ain't had this conversation in a long time. The question has been for me, how far back do we go to retroactively apply today's standards to old ways of existing?
Well, for this particular thing, I don't think that you can go dig up an old picture of somebody holding up OK when it recently became, however long, whatever year they started, because I know this was supposed to be an experiment they were doing. So whenever that occurred, that's the date that became something else. Prior to, okay has never meant anything bad. It means something at your school. We would do okay to mean literally like, okay, cool. Like if we couldn't talk about you across the room and you had asked me a question and you look up at me, I'm gonna do this. We're black, so it was not. It wasn't white power.
You gotta do the black head nod. Yeah, you gotta nod your head back, opposed to the white head nod where you nod your head forward. That's the white one.
Women don't really do y'all. That's a nigga thing. Y'all do that. We don't do that.
I know. I'm just saying. You know
we would just hold up that like
that is fucking telling. That's a teacher to look up and be like, "Got something you want to share with the class, Red?"
No.
You just put your white power symbol up.
Bitch, I'm black.
What you mean? You might be Uncle Ruckus.
I am not no Uncle Ruckus. I don't think anybody that has ever met me at any point in my life would have ever felt that way. Oh, but I don't agree with him being fired. That seemed excessive, especially considering that this is something that I still feel like the average person doesn't know. I feel like most people out here do not know that the OK symbol is racist.
That's the reason that I don't think he should have been fired is because we don't know that he knew that was the case. And
shit, I didn't know it till you brought the story up a couple of weeks ago. That was my first time hearing that shit. I didn't know.
White power, man.
I'd have been all in pictures doing the OK.
So this is, you want to know how this all came to be?
You told us about how they were trying to show that the liberals would get upset at it or turn anything. Yeah.
But they were smart enough to believe and know that, but they weren't smart enough to understand that amongst the people in their group, that shit will take off and become what you were trying to pretend like it was.
Yeah.
Like you can't pretend that it's gonna become something and think it's not gonna become something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're stupid.
Just like the Pepe the Frog.
Yeah.
The meme. Pepe. Like they take something that meant nothing and they change it into something, and then they try to claim that it's not racist. Ha, it's not racist. We were just pretending like it was racist. Well, bitch, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you? Where your common sense go, man? If you ever had it. You didn't have it. So the family, the woman is black and her husband is white. And they said they went on vacation to Universal Orlando just a week after the New Zealand killings where 51 people were gunned down in 2 mosques. And they went to Orlando from Colorado with their daughter and younger son. She said, we just wanted to take them to see the Minions, do something special for our family, and this person ruined that special warm feeling.
I mean.
But the crazy part is they went back and saw these pictures after the fact. Like, if you enjoyed your time there without knowing that, ruined. How could it have ruined the experience? You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about Eddie Murphy today being criticized about the language that he used in Raw? Like he used the F word a bunch and not fuck. You know, the word for gay people. I hate saying that word, so I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, that was never. It was never some shit that should have been said. I feel like even then.
But I mean, that shit was being said in movies. Like it was a cultural thing at the time. So it's like, is it okay because it happened? Because we're not able to assess it from the point that it was done back then. We can only assess it from now. So is it really fair to look at something from the 80s and say this is why?
But you would look
clearly,
at,
if it ain't raping a whole bunch of women, then how do we look at it?
Yeah, but you would look at a white person in the 80s who was saying nigga who now does something different or who now may be different. People would still be like, you was saying nigga. That was never okay. It was never okay for you to be hollering out nigga. Like, yeah, you don't say nigga now, but you was saying nigga then. Like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, comedians, my gauge, I guess, is a little bit different with comedians just because I know, I don't even agree with it, but I know they get away with a lot under the guise of it being a joke. And so, especially with something that happened back in the 80s, I mean, I don't really give a fuck about Eddie Murphy, to be honest, just in general. But I don't really get up in arms about Raw. I have a copy of Raw. I think it's what was the other one? He had Raw and
Delirious.
I got Delirious. I don't have Raw. I think I got Delirious. I got one of them in my DVD collection, but I mean, I don't know. With this, I don't think that man should have lost his job behind this because he could have genuinely not known that is a hate symbol because I feel like most people don't know that shit. I feel like you could go on the street and ask 10 people, and out of those 10 people, you might maybe come across one who might know. Or you might get 10 like, it just mean okay, what you mean? Among black and white people, there's a lot of people that don't fucking know that shit. So I don't think he should have got fired. I think that was excessive. And the family talking about it ruined their trip. They full of shit because you ain't see it till you got the pictures, and the trip was over then. So you had fun at the time.
Okay. Let me do my next story.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and knock this on out.
Okay.
So, the goddamn lying ass 12-year-old girl.
Man, fuck that bitch.
Who said her white classmates cut her dreadlocks off. It's very, very fucking disappointing.
This every time something like this happens, my response is always, there's plenty of real shit that happens to us. There is plenty of things. Okay? You don't have to make shit up. Okay? It's everywhere. It's unnecessary. So when people make up shit, I'm like, bitch, why? Next week, there will be a legitimate thing that happened in our community for you to be upset about. Creating things and making up shit don't help anybody because all it does is give credence to white people who feel like, oh, this is all, it's not as bad as everybody's saying. People making up things. It doesn't help the cause, okay? Now, when we did the beginning, I said I stand by what I said. I stand by what I said in the context of if this happened to my child, how I would respond. Now I'm going to give how I will respond if it didn't happen to my child, but my child told me that shit did happen, and I found out later that your fucking ass was lying. Okay. All of that vitriol I had last week for them administrators, how I went hard for you. Now me and you finna have a fucking problem, kid. Because what the fuck? There's no point. What are you lying for? Enough stuff happens all the time. What was the boy? They was he mentally challenged? They raped him with what was it? A clothes hanger maybe?
They
broomstick.
They took the hanger and they put it on the stove and let it get hot, and then they stuck it in his ass real slow. That's not what they did. That's from Dave Chappelle show. I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was a story, I cannot remember. Anyway, the point of the matter is that there are plenty of things that happen in our community that's fucked up without you having to go make up stuff and have people getting upset on your behalf. I want to go cut a hair off just out of the principle, bitch. Chop, chop.
You gonna cut? Oh, you finna be bald headed today?
I would have cut my kid dreads. You came home and you lied about this, about how your hair got cut. Them shits, I wouldn't cut it all the way off. I would not ever do anything to my child that would lead to them being bullied or embarrassed at school. Oh, but you finna lose some inches, bitch. You absolute, because you want to go around here and tell everybody that your hair got cut. So cut it shall be.
So do you want to know the conspiracy theory going around?
It's go ahead so I can get upset because I already think I know what I heard, and I'm gonna say why this is stupid.
This school is a Emmanuel Christian school. This is a school that Karen Pence, the wife of Mike Pence, teaches part-time. Mm-hmm. So the theory is that the family was paid off to say that this was a lie.
Here's my problem.
Go.
I mean, look, I really hope that is not the case. And the reason why I say that is because What message does that send to that child if the parents are willing to take hush money for something horrific like that happened to her? I would just like to think that parents would have better sense than the. It's certain shit that you can buy me off about. Okay, I ain't gonna sit up here and act like I can't be bought, right? Because I can be. This is not one of those instances though, because if this did indeed happen, these little boys held her down. One of them put his hand over her mouth and they cut her hair. Like the trauma from that, and then for your parents to just be like, but we getting paid, bitch. Like I would be so disappointed.
What's worth more? The truth continuing to live in what may be poverty. I don't know the family's financial situation. With the girl still having that trauma, or covering up the truth in riches that take you out of that poverty with the girl still experiencing that same trauma.
What message does that send to her about her trauma though, when you take a check and have her not only take a check, now she got to go back on TV and say she lied? Is it worth that amount of money? Is what I'm saying. To me, it's not. It's not. Because you know how cruel people are, and you know how mad people are going to be that were ready to go to bat for her, and now she's saying that she made it up. Like, what amount of money is worth your child's peace of mind?
I don't know.
Because you can't buy that, okay? You can buy your way up out of poverty, and yeah, y'all might have somewhere nice to stay, but mentally what that would do to that child, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Because of the fact that in order for that to happen, she has to say she lied. She has to say that she made that up, that never happened to her, when she know good and goddamn well it did. What that would do to her psyche, I would never let my kid do that. I don't give a fuck where we was living at. It ain't no money to me worth that. To put her through that. To put her through people calling her a liar and talking shit about her. After she already had a traumatic incident happen.
So what if you had a child that was intelligent enough to know what may come from this?
How do you know that? How do you know that if you have a child that can emotionally take that may think that they can until the bullying starts, until people start talking shit about them? Like, what if you're wrong? I'm not gonna take that chance. I'm not gonna take that risk with my kid. I'm just not. Because as much as I might think that they are strong, that's a lot. You asking a lot out of that kid. You asking them to go through it, 1, and now you're asking her to backtrack, 2, so we can get some money. Like, yeah, we know this happened to you, but we can get paid. So no,
I think she probably would get that hate if it was the truth too.
She would get more. She gonna get more hate from her saying that this didn't happen, from all of the black people who was all mad and shit and ready to. She gonna get way more than she would have got if it had been left the way it was. Hell, my immediate reaction was fuck that little heifer. I was mad as hell. Like, bitch, I was ready to ride for you. So I know it's other people like me, and I'm not no internet thug, so I ain't gonna get on the internet. I ain't gonna find her and send no messages and shit. But there are people that will, and to me, that's a burden to put on your kid. Your child ain't supposed to get you out of poverty. That ain't her job. That's not her job, and I'm not gonna use something fucked up that happened to you to benefit us in this way. I couldn't do that in good conscience. Me personally, I would not be able to do that. And not to mention the anger that I would feel for you motherfuckers wanting to make this go away. To not have to do anything about this, to not have to punish these boys, to not have, like, they just gonna get away with this shit and we get some money. I can't. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I wouldn't take the money either, but I would understand if the money was taken by somebody.
I couldn't.
I would. I've just seen what poverty has resorted people to.
I know, but I'm saying, even if you get her out of poverty, if what she said happened to her, it's already gonna be difficult.
But you're a person that's more principled than somebody that would take that money.
True.
And You're a therapist, so you're able to think through what that girl would be suffering through and dealing with in that regard. A person that's not a therapist won't be looking at it like that. They're not going to be able to assess it the way that you're able to assess it.
I guess.
I mean, they just wouldn't.
I just couldn't do that. And so that was my issue when I saw that conspiracy theory. I was like, I hope good and goddamn well that that's not the case, because I just don't know how you make that okay for that kid. You already got kids. Like, you already have kids that commit suicide from online bullying about shit that ain't really, like, little bullshit stuff that they actually did. To be receiving hate because something happened to you and your parents told you to go back and say it didn't happen to you because for some money. Not all kids are mentally strong enough to handle that shit, man. And then what happens?
Yeah, some kids will tell their parents no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They
kids
would.
be like, hell no, mama.
Cause what happens? What happens if you get her to do it? It seems like it's fine. You get your money, y'all get out of poverty, and then 6 months later, your kid is dead because she been internally struggling this entire time. And she been getting cyberbullied now, and people looking at her like she's a liar when this actually happened to her. You don't get to give the money back and get your child's life back. You don't. That ain't how that happens. She died, she's dead. So for me, I can't envision doing that. So I hope that's not the case. I hope that her parents would not do that, because it ain't on her back to get them out of poverty if they in poverty. Not her responsibility. She the kid. Y'all got to figure out another way.
I got you.
So.
I got you. But you can go on to your next one.
I mean, the only thing I don't even feel like, and I've said this before. I said this about Hot Girl Summer. I do not understand women who have this idea that equality is being able to do whole shit like niggas do whole shit. Like, it should be cool. So Miley Cyrus, she didn't, separated from her husband and getting a divorce, whatever. Since that time, which has not been a long time, she has already been connected to a bitch. And now she was seen tonguing down some white boy. Okay. Now here's the thing. I don't really give a fuck what Miley does with her body. Okay. Don't give a shit. But what I do care about is when she make a post trying to justify it by saying, if I was a guy, y'all wouldn't be saying this. I'm just trying to live my best single life. Just do that and hush, girl. Like, me personally, I don't ever look at hoe ass niggas and be like, man, I wish I could do hoe shit and nobody say I'm a hoe. I don't want to do hoe shit. I don't think them niggas should be doing hoe shit. I think you should be doing a little bit less hoe shit, my nigga. Like, that ain't equality to me in my mind. So anytime I see women that are like, I want to be able to do whole shit, and they're not saying anything to me about it. Do whole shit and don't care. Man, just do what you gonna do. If you gonna be out here sleeping with whoever and connected to whoever, you could be like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is the only person I have ever seen who has been connected to 47 people and nobody calls her a hoe. I don't know if it's white woman privilege or how that works. Especially when she first came out, she was connected to this person and that person and this person. It has been a lot. Okay. But guess what? Taylor Swift just kept on dating folks. She done dated Loki. Okay.
Well, since you mentioned Taylor Swift.
Fuck her.
I'm going to read this post about Taylor Swift.
I'm sick of her.
Wait a minute. Where that post at? Didn't I say this?
Oh, she's just the quintessential white woman. That's when I look at her, that's what she just embodies all that being a white woman embodies in my mind. That's what Taylor Swift does. But Miley, nobody cares. Do your whole shit. But be prepared for people to say shit about it. That's what happens. Just do your whole shit anyway.
Look, it's a whole long ass post, but I read it this morning, so I guess we gonna read about why this person who posted it can't stand Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. I'd like to listen to that.
She has profited off of playing the victim in situations where she wasn't.
White women.
And not just in most of her music, where her songs are written about her exes that she dates, breaks up with, and then writes an entire album about.
Yes.
But on social media as well. She even wrote songs about cheating on Calvin Harris and Tom Hiddleston.
Yes.
Then There was that time that she claimed that Kanye West had written a line about her in one of his songs and didn't ask permission for it.
Yes.
Kim Kardashian then leaked the video of the recorded phone call in which she said she was fine with it and actually supported it.
Yes.
Once she revealed she was lying and then tried to sue Kim Kardashian, which ultimately failed. She is openly friends with and defends a known child molester, Lena Dunham, who has admitted this in her book as well as in plenty of interviews.
She has.
She consistently uses black and brown bodies as props in her music videos to look diverse. Her videos are full of cultural appropriation. Shake It Off was mocking black hip-hop culture while Wildest Dreams romanticized the colonialism in Africa. At an award show, when Nicki Minaj pointed out how the industry looks over women of color, she invalidated her and accused her of pitting women against each other. And her group of friends that she refers to as her squad, every one of them are straight, thin, white women that capacity her siblings. So denying microaggressions and racism in the industry, all while having no diversity in friendships, peak POC exclusionary feminism. She imitates and steals ideas from large amount of black and POC artists, including Beyonce, without giving them any credit. She has repeatedly sued fans for using her music, such as a newlywed couple for using one of her songs for the first dance at their reception. A family member had recorded it and uploaded it online. When it had gone viral, she not only sued them, but they were forced to delete all traces of it and hand over every recording of their wedding day, not just the first dance.
What a bitch.
She sued her former guitar teacher for stating on his website that he was the one who taught her. She only started supporting drag queens after they become mainstream, and it's very obviously performative, so using the LGBTQ plus for attention. She hijacked Me Too and positioned herself as the face of the movement as if Tarana Burke, another black woman she's stolen from, hadn't founded the phrase and movement 10 years beforehand. She even posed on the cover of Time magazine as one of the people of the year, which with absolutely no credit to the originator. On multiple occasions, she's taken photographers' rights to her own photos without giving them any type of credit. If you want to stand her, go for it. Nobody is stopping you, but let's not pretend that people don't have a reason to not want to support her. And then she put a shitload of sources for everything she said.
Yeah, fuck her. She is peak white woman. That victim, oh my God, poor me. That's Taylor Swift. Fuck her. And I will never forgive her for September. You hear me? Never.
Tried to make September indie track.
You cannot touch certain songs. Taylor and September by Earth, the Wind, and the Fire? Bitch, no. Other black artists don't need to try to touch that goddamn song. You know your little white ass don't need to be doing
how you
shit
feel about
with it.
Beyonce?
I don't like that remix, her version. So yeah, you can at me. I don't give a fuck. I don't like Beyonce's version. I prefer May's break. I'm sorry. I don't like her.
Liked it.
Who?
They like the originators.
I like the original. Every time that shit come on the radio, I change. I just don't like it. I feel like those songs, those family barbecue, them family reunion songs, them songs don't need to be touched. Those songs are timeless. Though it could be the year 3000, and you can put on September, and motherfuckers gonna know exactly what to do. Okay, it don't have to be remade. It's perfect the way it is. Let it be. Just let it be. But fuck Taylor Swift. I don't give a shit about her. Can't stand her.
Nah, I was just bringing that point up. So, Miley Cyrus. Man, let Miley Cyrus be the freak she want to be.
My thing, just do that. But see, she want to do it. Then when people say something, she feel like she got to say something back. Miley, just do you, girl. Just do you. If you're going to be kissing women today and men tomorrow and men and women maybe on the third day, do you, boo-boo. But know that people going to have shit to say. At this point, you shouldn't even give a fuck no more. Miley, you had dildos and stuff on stage during your concerts. Are you really there? You really care? Like, girl, bye. Just do what you're going to do and shut the fuck up. Stop making excuses and trying to get people to say it's all right. Everybody don't have to say it's all right, Miley. Okay? You're going to do it anyway. The fuck difference do it make? Just do what you do. Go on about your business. Nobody expects wholesomeness from you at this point, Miles. Okay? Okay.
That it for Miley?
That's it for Miley. I don't even think I had nothing new.
You ain't got no more stories?
Let me see.
I want to know who listening to the podcast was out here talking about they support LeVar Ball because he is a father that is there. Yeah, he's a little bit over the top, but you know, he there for his kids. And yada bop hoop bop blue gobble.
I remember the LeVar Ball conversation.
Was there?
Because everybody thought we were so wrong and so blah, blah. Everybody, Michael Jackson. All right. Go on.
Because, let me talk about what LeVar Ball did. So, you know they got that Facebook show, and nobody watches it.
Nope.
And they were having an episode, and they were talking about Big Baller Brand.
Mm-hmm.
BBB.
Yeah.
Which is the representation of the Ball brothers and is everything. But what happened was this dude named Alan Foster apparently was accused of like embezzling money out of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of money.
Yeah, millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple $1 million.
Uh-huh.
And they were trying to figure out ways to rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
And Lonzo came up with the idea of, look, Big Baller Brand, we need to change the name. The dad was like, nah, we ain't change that name. He was like, look, man, people don't look at the name the same because of all this that done happened. And he was like, we ain't gonna change the name. And then he was like, that's like somebody coming up to me and telling me to change your name to something else. He said another name. And because now you damaged goods. So I just want to know the people who supported him as a good father as the interpretation of that moment.
But you know what? Unfortunately, them same people still support him and say that people are taking it out of context and that he didn't mean it in a negative way. Bitch, bye. Y'all gonna ride for this nigga till you can't ride no more. Listen, okay? LeVar Ball is a terrible father. That's just what it is, okay? It has always been that way. It's gonna always be that way. I am sorry. There is nothing. And everybody look and say, oh, but look where they are. Look at their success. That does not overcome them not having a dad. He's a manager, okay? He's a money person. He's not their father. Because a dad ain't gonna say no shit like that to your son, who probably is already struggling. I'm assuming he's injured. He done got some injuries.
He been injured.
Okay, so that ain't no shit you say to your son. Like, LeVar Ball look at them boys as business transactions, not his kids. He always had. He is living vicariously through them.
It's a lot of people out here who validate parents' behavior because they parents. They don't look at the behavior and say, I don't think that's appropriate for a parent to say. They basically say, well, kid was out of line. They do a lot of things to justify.
There was other ways that you could have got your kid in line. It didn't have to be that thing. Like, and I feel like when we had this conversation before, people was bringing up Joe Jackson and the Jackson. Yes, they have money, but they are fucking crazy. It's like all of them, all of that abuse, all of that stuff that they went through, their lives are worse off because of that. If you're gonna solely look at it where they were able to accomplish musically, okay, Michael Jackson is dead because this nigga was taking essentially what is it, anesthetic, what is it when you go to sleep for a surgery?
Anesthesia.
This nigga's essentially taking anesthesia regularly, okay? Like, those kids, they fucked up mentally. All of them Jackson kids is fucked up. So to say, well, Joe wasn't no bad daddy because look at where they at. What? What is parenting to you? What is your definition of parenting? Because parenting has an element of emotional support that LeVar Ball, that Joe Jackson was not, could not, did not provide for them kids, and it shows. It shows. So no, I'm sorry. I don't look at successful parenting based upon what the child is able to accomplish, because the thing that y'all are not realizing is that sometimes people accomplish in spite of. I had to tell somebody that last week. That kid is doing good despite you, not because of you. Okay. This is one of those situations where they were just able to overcome. All right. But don't think that means you're doing what you're supposed to do or that you're doing a good job because they somehow still turned out all right. Okay. Had shit to do with you. That's not what good parenting is. Success at all costs is not. That's not what you need to be going for. LeVar Ball is an asshole. He's a terrible person. And apparently he a terrible businessman. Shit.
Yeah, because they sued Alan Foster for stealing that $2.5 million, and then Foster said that LeVar is the one who stole it. So I bet a whole bunch of records finna come up and determine what happened, and it really wouldn't be surprising to me.
No.
If LeVar Ball actually stole that money.
Wouldn't be surprising at all.
Pawned it off on his business partner. It won't be surprising, so I'm interested to find out what happened.
He just irritates. The way he walk in rooms doing that little stupid walk, I can't stand his ass. And I feel bad for them boys. And I hope the ones that have had kids, I hope that they be better fathers to their children than their father has been to them.
Maybe they will.
Break the generational curse.
Maybe they will.
Fuck that nigga.
Did you have anything else?
Let's see. Besides Miley, so there was a Florida man that got sentenced to 10 days in jail after he overslept for jury duty. How the fuck you lock me up for 10 days because I overslept for jury duty? You lock me in jail for 10 days over jury duty? Are you fucking kidding me?
He also got 1 year of probation and 150 hours of community service.
That is ridiculous. Over jury duty? Are you? Oh my God. He's never been arrested. And they arrested him for contempt because he didn't show up on time.
So he went to jail and then come participate in the jury at that point?
Yeah, because when you're in jail, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is what I've heard done before is the police go to your house and pick you up and bring you to the jury. Like, I've heard of that happening before.
Well, but that's if you're not going to have jail time. He spent 10 days in jail. That shit is like, what? Because he overslept for jury duty? He got 10 days in jail for oversleeping. And Amber got 10 years for taking a man's life. All right.
So he went to his afternoon shift at work thinking that it wasn't no big deal to make it to the court by that point in time. He thought that the worst thing would happen is that he would get a fine. And he got a call from his grandma saying that the police was there, and his grandfather told him to get to the court. And then when he got there,
how old is he?
When he got there, the judge arrested him after he explained about the delay. He also had to write an apology letter to the judge, who reduced his probation hours in community service. So the community service hours were reduced to 30. And he got to report to the jury office once a week to give a 10-minute talk on the importance of jury duty.
What? Are they fucking sick?
Like, I came to the conclusion it was deserving of a punishment. I wonder how many, if you broke it down in the race, how many white people who done something like this have been given consequences versus the black person. I wonder what this judge's record looks like.
He is 21 years old and went to work. Do you get paid? You get paid mileage for jury duty, correct?
You get paid per day, and it's nothing. And they give you a form to ask you to donate that money back to the courts.
Kiss my ass.
I'm gonna cash that check and wipe my ass with it.
Before I give it back to y'all. What? See?
So narcolepsy excluded me from jury duty.
I've never had jury duty. I've never been called. Now I'm gonna say that shit. And for the week is out, I'm gonna
I was on jury duty when I was 19.
I've never had it.
A sexual abuse case.
I've always wanted to go. I always thought it would be interesting.
It's interesting, but they said we have 3 capital murder cases.
Damn.
And so I was like, what? 3 capital fucking murder cases? Hold on, wait a minute now. Let's talk about this. And then I was like, you know what? If I were to be on the capital murder case jury, I would hate if something happened like a mistrial because I was asleep or something. And somebody got off who's supposed to been in jail because they murdered some people, and they point at me and be like, well, juror number 7 been asleep. Can't help but to declare a mistrial in this one. Nigga, I ain't gonna be able to go nowhere.
You not?
So I was like, listen, I fall asleep all the time. She was like, okay, well, bring me your diagnosis papers next time you come, and when you have those diagnosis papers, then we'll see. And I brought him, and she was like, excuse him. She turned around and told the lady, just excuse him from jury duty. You can't have somebody that's falling asleep while they're in there. And I was like, hell, fuck yeah. Narcolepsy ain't, I don't have a problem with my narcolepsy because it just means I get extra sleep. But if it ain't never came through for me ever, that moment, that shit came through like a motherfucker.
I've always wanted to go. I would love to sit on a capital murder case and be like being on ID channel. I love that shit.
My goddamn first case was a grandfather who was molesting his little, he had spent his whole life molesting his daughter and her cousin and his niece. And then he started touching the little 5-year-old girl, and the 5-year-old granddaughter went to the daddy and was like, he touched me right here. And then that shit opened up a whole bucket of worms. See, mama and cousin and auntie was trying to pretend like ain't nothing ever happened. So they pretended like that man was all right. And then he started doing that shit to their kids.
Pedophile island. I'm telling you, it needs to happen. I don't see the problem. I'm not saying kill him. I'm saying put him on an island.
What about, like, what level? Like, should it be everybody on the sexual registry?
No, because some people on the sexual registry are on there for stupid shit. Like your girlfriend, you was 17 and she was 15. Her parents got mad.
So what if he's a so it gotta, like, what's the limit for pet? Like, it gotta be a man
or a woman
having sex with a young child.
Yes.
19-year-old, 14-year-old.
Yes. Cause why the fuck are you at 19? Now, yeah, that's enough of a difference.
19-year-olds in high school.
You need to be concentrating on getting out of high school.
They do need to be concentrating on getting out, but
at this point,
19-year-olds in high school.
You're still 19 and you're still in this school.
Can't have no relationship with a freshman.
You don't need to be. You need to be focusing on getting because obviously.
You think that motherfucking 19 in high school because they been focusing on school?
That exactly. That's what you gonna be 20 in high school next year if you don't get the fuck out of here. Fuck. That's the problem. So yes, they need to be on the island.
No, don't believe it.
I am for the pedophile island. Again, I'm not saying kill them. I'm just saying let them live amongst themselves.
Okay.
Cause listen, they'll be safer there than they would be. You know what happened to pedophiles in prison? If it's an island full of them, they ain't gonna fuck each other up. But niggas will fuck you up in prison if they find out you mess with kids.
No, they're gonna have a system, I'm sure.
Who got a system? Oh, what? Wait, all y'all are pedophiles? What system?
They're gonna have a system, but if you abuse kids like too little, then they gonna be like, no, fuck you. Teenagers. We don't fuck kids on the 5. You're fucking sick. They gonna have a system.
Well, they can have a system. Leave that up to them. I'm for the island. Fuck niggas. Oh, I hate that. Ugh. And then he just generationally raping people in his family. Dirty old man.
Molest is what he did to the young grandchild. Because he ain't get to the point where he can do more, I guess.
It was leading up to rape. That was coming. Ugh.
It's ridiculous.
It is very ridiculous.
So, Simone Biles.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is?
Mm-hmm. The gymnast.
Mm-hmm. She be flipping this shit.
She does. She
be on the balance beam.
She do. She's pretty good at it too.
She probably good at beaming on some meat.
I have nothing to add to that.
Look, I'm just saying, man.
I have nothing to add.
She got the goddamn balance.
I have nothing to add to that.
Look, I don't know. The balance beam is crazy. Like, I don't know why people chose to do that shit. But apparently, she is able to do shit that can't nobody goddamn do out here. So, in her, like, practicing, I guess, or her qualifiers, you know, they be doing moves that they gonna try. So, she's doing 2 new skills at the World Games. Mm-hmm. She's doing a triple twisting double somersault on floor exercise and a double twisting double somersault dismount off of a balance beam.
That just sounds like a sprained ankle and a sprained wrist to me.
So these
like I would fuck my shit up.
Well, these 2 exercises were valued as a J skill, while the double was only deemed to be an H. So basically what they did was they made these like very low ranked moves that she was going to do. Now, this puts us at a dilemma, right? Because what Simone Biles has said is, hey, they're always telling us to challenge ourselves. They're always telling us to try new things and try new moves. But on the other hand, their justification for it is a big part of their concern is the safety for all of the performers.
So for the people that would attempt it.
The people who ain't got Simone Biles' gall and her capability, those who will try, it will end up in a bunch of broken ankles, broken wrists, and this move can end up in a land on the neck.
Self-awareness, you got to know it. Like,
so I guess the question becomes, should this organization make moves that only she can do worth less because other people may try them and fail in ways that hurt themselves?
Because they can still try it anyway and still get hurt. I mean, I get that they think that they're going to make it less likely that they will because it's worth less. But it's still going to be motherfuckers who going to try to do it just because it's Simone Biles moves. And they want to be able to say they did that shit. So, like, that's stupid to me. You need to know your capabilities and what your limitations are. And if you don't, whoever coaching you need to be like, bitch, you can't do that. Bitch, you ain't Simone. Like, they need to have coaches that are honest with them and be like, girl, no, that's not you. That is not you. It's not your lane. It's not your lane. We're going to practice the things you good at, okay? Because you're good at a lot of things. But this ain't it.
Have you heard of Surya Bonali?
No.
In figure skating, she is the first person that did a one-leg backflip.
Shit.
And they did the same thing to her. They basically said no. And her performance was like, it invalidated her performance. Because she knew that she wasn't supposed to do it. And she did it anyway.
Well, so then they need to stop telling them to be innovative and come up with new moves. If you're going to tell me to do that, you cannot then penalize me for doing what you asked me to do. So they need to stop altogether. Because the thing is, what you have to realize is that if somebody's going to come up with a move, it ain't going to be no basic ass shit. I'm trying to win. Okay, so it's gonna always be a one-legged backflip or some shit. Like, it's always gonna be some shit like that. So if y'all got a problem with that, then they need to take that out of option. Like, you shouldn't be able to do it at all, because you can't get mad at Simone because she got them skills. Okay,
I just think it's fucked up.
Whatever. Look, you girl can't do it. She don't need to try. You're her coach. That is the job of her coach to say, girl, no. We're not practicing that because that ain't you. That is not you. But for them to make it lower when it is a very difficult part of her act, that's bullshit. Folks love trying to save people from themselves. Like, damn, sometimes, look, what is it? Darwin Awards? Okay? Let the Darwin Awards do what they do, all right? If they try that shit, and they not capable of doing it, then they wasn't meant to be gymnasts anyway. And the Darwin is just going to take it right on out. It's fine. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to.
So what the WTC said, which is the Women's Technical Committee, is that in assigning values to the new elements, the WTC takes into consideration many different aspects: the risk, the safety of the gymnast, and the technical direction of the discipline. Also, there is added risk in landing of double saltos for beam dismounts with or without twists, including a potential landing on the neck. Reinforcing, there are many examples where decisions have been made to protect the gymnast and preserve the direction of the discipline. Translation: some gymnasts are trying to pad their scores by chunking skills they have no business doing, and we need to protect them from themselves.
That what I just said. You trying to protect people from themselves? Listen, okay. These are Olympic level gymnasts, all right, who have coaches and all of this shit. If through working with their coach, they decide that this is something that they want to try, it ain't your job to save them. Hell, that ain't your job. Your job is to judge what the fuck it is they do. But shut up and let them do what they do.
The article goes on to say that there's no shortage of hypocrisy in that rationale. If the federation is so concerned with athlete safety, why allow I and J skills in the first place? And if Biles' double-double is going to encourage gymnasts to take risks that they shouldn't, wouldn't her triple-double do the same? And while we're at it, why not allow gymnasts to do a warm-up on the floor before event finals? More bothersome, though, is that the federation has ignored the means it has to keep irresponsible impulses in check. In addition to the difficulty score, the sum value of all elements in a routine, there is an execution score. If a gymnast insists on trying a skill he or she has no business doing, some of you vaulters, you know who you are, hammer them on the E score. Give them a 3 or 4. A normal E score for an elite gymnast is in the 8s or 9s, and it will nullify whatever advantage there was in the added difficulty. But no, the federation would rather shortchange Biles of the true value of her accomplishment. And, you know, it's really hard when you keep seeing all of these things happening with black athletes, like the black swimmer, the wrestler that was told that he had to cut his hair, Simone Biles. When you see this happening over and over again to black athletes, it's like you can't help but to think that somebody got their foot on the scale of progress for black people in so many different areas. It's like they holding their foot on the scale, trying to hold them back from what their potential can be. I mean, when Michael Phelps, you know, break records and stuff, it's like he smoking weed didn't even fuck his career up.
Nope.
You know? So it's like,
but this goes back.
As a black person, you just got to be the best black person just to, like, Barack Obama was the best black person he could be to become president just so he could be called a monkey.
Basically.
And now Simone Biles has been the best black Olympian that she can be, only to be told we ain't gonna give your accomplishments credit that they deserve.
And this goes back to the story about the girl who lied about cutting her hair. There's enough, okay, that we have to deal with. There's enough that happens as a culture that we let day to day being black living has. We don't need no lies, okay? It's plenty going on for real, right? There are plenty of things that are happening in the world right now as we speak that are fucked up and make it fucked up to be black in this country. So you don't need to be out here making up stories, making up, you know, allegations against things. It's there already. You don't even got to go looking for it. It's around every corner. Shit.
It's ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous.
But, you know, it is what it is.
Best black in America.
But that being said, that's all I got.
All right.
You got anything else on your mind?
Remi turned 3.
Okay.
So he's 3 now.
3 years worth of motherfucking bullshit and fuckery.
Yep. And Kingston will be 13.
God damn. That nigga knocking on heaven's door.
He's old.
If all dogs go to heaven, that nigga getting ready.
He is.
How long do they
breathe?
live?
16 to 18 years.
Oh shit, you got some time.
Mm-hmm.
You can meet a nigga and let him get in on the end of Kingston life.
I mean,
You
technically,
need Kingston.
yes.
You need Kingston at the beginning to make sure he alright.
Why I need Kingston to make sure he out? Oh, because Rem is.
No, because Kingston side eye nigga if he ain't the one.
Literally. Oh my God. He literally does. It's the hilarious.
So like, if Kingston, the best you can hope for is that Kingston respond to a nigga like Kingston respond to me.
Yes.
That's probably the best you can get. I mean, every time I come in, he's a little weary. You know, he thought I was finna kidnap him when I came to try to walk him, but I understand. We didn't practice. We should have practiced. We didn't practice. He thought I was finna motherfucking strangle his ass to death, and he probably thought you was murdered already. Like, where she at? Where she at? Hell no. Fuck that. Hell no. Nigga, you think you ain't gonna take me alive, nigga. You gonna have to kill me right here. You gonna have to stomp me down, nigga, because if you put your hand down here, you ain't gonna have no more hand, nigga. I mean that shit up.
Yeah, he was having it. You know what? I would like to see. We need to practice that and see what Remi would do.
Remi, what the fuck you mean? Remi gonna be like, oh, my nigga, I remember your smell. What's up? Oh, you taking me out? Shit. I mean, I don't normally go out with strange motherfuckers, but for you, my man, I'll do it. I can have a needle. He gonna be like, what is that? Is that fun food? Let's just poke his ass and inject. Oh, that felt funny, but I'm happy. Yeah, he just dancing until he fucking fade away, dead. Remi is the kind of dog that will participate in his own demise. He would just, like, you could choke him and just keep choking him, and he'll be like, this is a new game. What game is this? Oh, I like this game. Wait a minute, this game feels funny now. And then he dead now. And all up to the end, he thought you were just fucking playing. You wasn't. You was murdering his ass.
The fucking dog is so friendly.
That's Remi.
Insane. So yeah, Kingston is a better. He does let me know characters of people. Like he don't fuck with everybody.
Yeah.
Remi literally fucks with everybody. Everyone. Don't matter who you are. Well, no, he don't like the Jamaican. That's the only person I've ever seen Remi bark at in like a vicious way. He don't like the Jamaican.
He probably can smell cleaned up blood. That's probably what that is. Nobody like what cleaned up blood smell like.
I don't know why he don't like that nigga, but he don't. He was barking at him. I was like, he doesn't bark at anybody. You must be a terrible person. Jesus. Because he literally loves everyone, with the exception of the Jamaican. So. But I took him to Petco and they was loving on him. He got to pick out a toy. The first toy he picked up was too expensive. I said, no, put that back. Let me show you where the cheap toys are over here. So he grabbed the toy. That was his birthday gift. And a cookie.
So you gave him what?
A dog cookie with icing on it. And he picked out a toy.
That's it?
The fuck else he supposed to have?
He's supposed to get that motherfucker a steak.
He's a dog.
What do you mean he's a dog? That is his natural habitat. His natural habitat is eating flesh. Get that motherfucker an iced cookie. What the fuck?
He got a cookie.
That is the epitome of humans done fucked us up. You know what? Kingston looked at him eating that cookie and he was like, man, nigga, we was wolves, bro. Now look at your ass eating fucking caked up flour.
He ate the shit out of that cookie. He was happy with that cookie.
Of course he was happy with that cookie, but he would have been happier with some fucking steak.
He probably would have been, but I ain't gonna buy that.
He would have had an orgasm.
I didn't go buy him no goddamn steak.
You should have.
Well, it's too late.
Should have bought that nigga steak.
His
man.
birthday has passed. He got a cookie and a toy. Kingston only get a cookie because he don't play with toys no more.
That shit sad.
How is not? Look, Remi was excited as shit. They were giving him treats in the store because everybody loved him. So he loving it. He just wiggling his butt. He's so happy. He got all kind of treats. They gave him a bandana that had happy birthday on it.
Of course.
Kingston go in there and he'd be like, don't fucking touch me.
Man, if a malnourished kid was given 5 grains of rice a day, they'll be happy as fuck to get a noodle. God damn it.
He ain't malnourished.
I know he ain't malnourished. I'm just saying the difference between them two ain't big enough for that fucking excitement. Okay? You ain't got no business being excited going from fucking a lamb or beef or chicken flavored flour to fucking cookie flour. Like, what the fuck? Okay, you got wheat and corn and shit mixed up in your dog food. He just eating the same thing in cookie form. Give that nigga some real food.
With icing. Got icing on it.
Listen. You hear me?
I'm listening.
When Kingston is on his deathbed, whenever that day comes, I'm gonna buy that nigga filet mignon, okay? Number one. Number two, next year for Remy's birthday, I'm buying that nigga steak. You remind me when that birthday show up, and as long as you okay with that motherfucker having some meat, I'll buy it. Okay?
Long as it's not seasoned too
Look,
much.
do your research and find out what the fuck he can eat.
They can have it, it just can't be seasoned.
Okay, that's what he needs. That might awaken the goddamn wolf that he used to be.
I don't need that nigga crazy enough.
No, he ain't crazy. That man need to be more methodical.
No.
Like wolves used to be.
No, he good.
Now this motherfucker want to chase a ball. We was wolves, nigga. We was wolves. Just imagine that giving a whole speech. Remy, my man, I see you enjoying that cookie. You got toys and shit. You know, I see the lady put the leash on you and walk you around and you pee.
Yeah.
You mark a territory, you know, a little bit of leftover from our past, man, but nigga, we was wolves. What is this shit you on now? What is this shit, bruh? You are groomed. You get taken to the vet when you sick, nigga. We used to heal ourselves, bruh. We used to be out in the wilderness. We used to When the last time you did that shit?
That nigga scared of storms.
When the last time you did, nigga? We used to live in storms, nigga. We used to sit out in the rain.
That nigga hide behind the couch if it get the lightning.
We used to sing the song of our people, my man. And now you in this bitch barely even barking.
He howl. He does howl, which gets on my goddamn nerves. He do. Like tomorrow I won't be at work, but I'll be in the living room because they still get locked up so I can have some peace. But he'll just out of nowhere, I just hear him in the back going, oh, like nigga hush. The fuck is you howling for?
That's the ancestors, man. Telling him what I'm saying.
Remi, Kingston don't howl. Kingston don't howl.
Bruh.
Kingston's
We used to go and chase down creatures that were slower than us. We used to fuck with them too.
He still now Remi chased in cats, squirrels, anything. If
But
given
nigga,
the
you
opportunity,
eat food out of a fucking bag, bruh.
out of a bowl. The bag, I put it in a bowl. So, that's not helping. I know.
What that means, Red, is he eat food out of a bag and out of a fucking bowl. Okay, in two different ways. The food comes from a bag that you put in the bowl. All right. You eat food out of a bag, bruh. Out of a bag. You know what that shit is? You know what that shit is? They drip a little meat juice in the flour and the wheat and the corn that they grind up that you can't even fucking digest properly.
I feed them wheat and corn free dog food.
Good.
There's no wheat or corn in
Good.
their food.
This wolf giving this speech ain't that fucking informed about the different types of food, okay? He's just familiar with the origin story of how the fucking dog food came to be. All right? We was wolves, bro. We need to get this shit back. And Remy out here like, no, I like this life.
Yep.
It's like a slave, like Samuel L. Jackson from Django. He was just like, no, I like this. My master is cool. I like the leash.
That would be Remi. 100%.
Like the wolves is the hotep motherfuckers, and you know,
Remi is
and Remi is just a
Uncle Tom.
nigga that worked for corporate America.
He Uncle Tom.
He ain't Uncle Tom. He ain't like the snitch. He just happy with the system. He like, no, I get a paycheck, W-2, retirement.
What is Kingston?
What is Kingston? Kingston ain't no god. Kingston a captive. Kingston ain't no goddamn. Kingston ain't willing. He doing this shit because he got to, man. And every now and then he'll give you a hint of why he don't fuck with it by pissing on the floor.
Little bitch ass dog. Don't even. I'm feeling sorry for him because
He a
I'm
rebel,
thinking
man.
because his ass is old and he just a jerk.
He a rebel. He
He's
don't
a
work
jerk.
for corporate America. He got like his own little business, side business, and he got a job. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing major. It's something where he can say, fuck the white man. When I get on my own, I'm gonna leave this shit behind. You know, And he be hearing them. He be like, man, I know we was wolves, bro. I'm trying to get back to that shit. You know, Black Wolf Street. You remember that shit? They fucked that shit up, bro. I can't stand it when I be seeing dog shows, man. Them niggas be tap dancing for the white man, bro. Can't stand it.
Oh God.
But anyway, but that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, that's
All
it.
right. Well, we was wolves. And, what the fuck I be saying again?
Until we call the next
Until we call the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.